Our next transformation that we're going to talk about is a rotation. So a rotation is a transformation which turns a figure around a fixed point. So we have three main rotations that we're going to look at. We've got the 90-degree rotation, 180 degrees, 270, and then if I make a full turn, I've gone 360 degrees. So you're turning and you've got to think about the angle and the direction. So our turns today are going to be going counterclockwise. So to start with, we're going to take our original image. A is 1, 4, B is 5, 2, and C is 2, 0. So I want to think and focus on the angle that is made. I don't want to work with all three of the points at one time. I want to start and I want to work with just one of the points. And so I take the easiest point to deal with, and that might be the point 1, 4. What I'm going to do is, since I'm turning it about the origin, I'm going to draw a segment that goes from that point to the origin. If I'm going to make a 90-degree angle, because what I need to do is I need to figure out where is this point going to be located if I'm going to take this triangle and turn it 90 degrees. I'm going to create a 90-degree angle. Well, 90 degrees is a right angle. And if I'm a right angle, hey, guess what? I'm also perpendicular. If I'm perpendicular, to figure out perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if I take my slope of this line, I have a rise of 4 and a rise of 1. My perpendicular slope, opposite reciprocals, means I'm going to flip it and change the sign. So 4 over 1 becomes negative 1 over 4. So if I'm here and I have a slope of a negative 1 over 4, then A prime is going to be located down 1, right 4, at the location of negative 4, positive 1. Now, the easiest way to get your other points, instead of having to set that up for all three of them, is now to come up with that algebraic rule. So a 90-degree rotation, x, y. Well, if I look at my original and I look at how it's changed, looks like my x's and my y switched, and it looks like my sign changed on my y. So how do I write that? Well, to switch, xy becomes yx, and then change the sign on the y, so opposite y, x. So how am I going to now apply that to all of the others? So switch, and then change the sign on the y, so negative 2, 5. This one is now going to become 0, 2. Change the sign on the original y. Well, since it was a 0, it's still going to be a 0. So now let's graph these other points. So here is A. B is going to be located at negative 2, 5. C is going to be located at 0, 2. And there we are. We've got our 90-degree angle. We have made our 90-degree counterclockwise turn. So now let's do the 180 degrees. So again, I'm going to take my same point, my point A, and now I'm 90 degrees here. I need to go another 90 more degrees. So you can eyeball it. You can go with your slopes again. Just keep in mind that that value, that 4 and that 1, or 1 and 4, you're still going to be seeing that value. So if I'm going to go 180 degrees, chances are I'm probably going to be maybe right here. So where is that A located? -1, -4. So draw your segment to confirm. Take a look. I've got a complete 180 degree. I've got the 290 degrees. I can see that. And so now to come up with all the other rules, so I'm going to cut out this middleman here so it doesn't get in my way. So looks like nothing flip-flopped. Looks like the only thing that happened was your signs changed. So my rule for my 180 degree, XY becomes opposite X, opposite Y. So let's apply that. 5, 2 is going to be -5, -2. 2, 0 is going to be -2, 0. And let's graph that new triangle. So -5, -2. Here's our B prime, double prime, -2, 0. Here is our C double prime. And let's draw our triangle. And there we are. So one more. Our last and final rotation is the 270 degrees counterclockwise. So we know we're going to be over here. We just need to make another 90-degree turn. We can also go 90 degrees clockwise. So again, take your point, your A, 1, 4. So where do we think we're going to be located? How are we going to get that 90-degree angle? Eyeball it if you need to. Think about slopes. Chances are A is going to be located here. Make your angle.
Open it. Open it.
And there I have my 90-degree angle, both directions. So where is A located? A is now located at 4, -1. So to get our others, let's write those rules down. Cut out the middle man.
Open it. Open it.
So what happened? Looks like we switched our X and our Y, and it looks like we changed our sign on our X. So my rule is Y -X. So now apply the rule to the other points to graph your triangle. So Y -X. So 5, 2 becomes 2, -5. 2, 0 becomes 0, -2. Go ahead and graph your last and final triangle.
Oh, it has bumps.
Take it, brother.
Mama had bumps. I have bumps. Mama had bumps. Mama had bumps.
Here's B prime, and then C prime is 0, -2. And here's our triangle. So, to get your rotations, think 90 degrees. Think opposite reciprocals. Main thing is always draw your angles from the point of the origin to the point that you're trying to rotate. Set up those angles and then write your rules from there and apply it to your other points. So if I'm going to go 360 degrees, hey, guess what? That's a full turn. So I'm going to be back to where I was to start with. So 1, 4 becomes 1, 4. 5, 2 becomes 5, 2. 2, 0 becomes 2, 0. XY is going to stay the same and be XY.